Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about this new Bladee mixtape, EXETER. So this is the newest mixtape from the Swedish rapper and famed Drain Gang member, who's developed a bit of a cult following on the internet over the past couple years with a handful of different releases, and usually there's a pretty fine line drawn between people that enjoy Blade's music and people that don't. And it's pretty easy to hear why after playing one of his tracks for only a little bit. He makes this ethereal blend of cloud rap and impressionistic R&B that has somewhat of a futuristic edge to it, and he leans pretty heavily on layering his vocals and a lot of auto-tune and different effects that ends up sounding pretty whiny and also robotic at times. Still, there's something about the mood of a Blade track that comes off pretty alluring. His tracks tend to progress in a very hypnotic and repetitive way that can really suck you in if you're drawn in by the melodies, because overall I think the biggest appeal to Blade is that aesthetic of that isolated, dejected fantasy world that he's creating. But Blade tends to lack a lot of compelling songwriting qualities on his projects, and his tracks to me come off a lot less abstract and more scant and linear. So going into a new mixtape, I was hoping that I'd just hear something new from Blade, maybe something a little more ambitious. And EXETER kinda delivers on those fronts, but still leaves me wanting more overall. There are some improvements in the production side of things though, I think. This project has a lot more variety going on in its sound palettes, and these beats come off a lot juicier and ring through with a new clarity that wasn't really there before. The extra color in these instrumentals initially are more ear-grabbing, but also do a better job at distracting you into thinking that this is a more refreshing approach. But you still get Blade's vocals ringing through in the same way, and he does get overshadowed kind of heavily when Echo 2K comes in on his features. And at their core, these tracks are just very skeletal and scant. Sometimes this simplicity works when there's a really strong lead melody in the track, like on Wonderland, which also happens to be the best Blade track to date, I think. But the rest of this record just pales in comparison to this track. Take Every Moment Special and Merry-Go-Round, for example. I actually like the beats on both of these tracks quite a bit, but these tracks are just a little too stiff and brief, and the way that they progress doesn't really leave much for me to latch onto, and they kind of end up just feeling like parts of songs. And I'm sure Blade fans are gonna disagree with me on a lot of this and say that it comes off abstract, but I just disagree. For me, it just seems underwhelming. But I think if he took the aesthetics and production improvements that happen on this mixtape and applied them to more ambitious songwriting, kind of like what landed on Echo 2K's latest project, this thing would be a home run. But I mean, who knows? This thing might grow on me, kind of similar to Aries' Welcome Home from last year. And if you dug that record, I'd actually suggest checking out this Blade mixtape. You might dig it. And with that being said, I'm feeling a 5.5 over here on EXETER. So I was looking around online. I didn't see any physical releases of this mixtape, but Drain Gang doesn't really do too many physicals, so who knows if this is gonna come out on vinyl or cassette in the future. But if you listen to this Blade project, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and share, and if you want more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Peace.